set out on a great adventure. The day my father started leading me home, said there's gonna be some mountains to climb and some valleys we're gonna go through. Welcome to the 2012 Harvest Summer Team. We are winding down our summer and finishing it up with our closing retreat that is finishing up today. And it's been an awesome summer of Jesus and RVs and ministry and music and people and the church and the kingdom. And we are so excited to have you join us as you sit and listen to stories and some music. Sometimes it seems like we're going a long way. It's just a long way home. Welcome to the 2012 Harvest Summer Team closing. We are putting together this little video to share a little bit about the ministry this summer. It's been an awesome season of the ministry and the church and the kingdom. It's been fun being with kids and people, and we are excited to share with you some of the stories and witness to God's grace and love. So we're going to do this in a couple different ways today and share some music as well, and you're invited to join in. So we're going to start by just introducing everybody, and then we're going to tell a few stories. So, begin.
I'm James Deming, and I'm from Metropolis, Illinois.
I'm Justin Richards, and I'm from Oblong, Illinois.
My name is Doug Totten, and I hail from Hanover, Indiana.
I'm Haley Miller from Champaign, Illinois.
I'm Tyler Wynn. I'm from Troy, Illinois.
And my name is Tim Price, and I'm also from Troy, Illinois. Even on the best days.
It's been a very interesting summer, not what I expected completely, and that's one thing I have learned is that God doesn't always speak the way you expect Him to speak or speak through what you expect Him to speak through, and He doesn't always teach you what you expect to learn or how you expect to learn it. It's been a growing experience and it's been fun.
These shirts say go, and it's from Matthew 28, the Great Commission. Go and make disciples. And that's been our mission this summer. Doesn't have anything else about Harvest on it or anything about our schedule or anything about anything going on in ministry outside of just living life, making disciples in the name of Jesus. And that's been our mission this summer. We've been going for the last 55 days, and our whole purpose has been to be a resource to the church, to aid in music and ministry at camps and churches and youth and children's events all over Illinois and the Midwest. And we took these shirts and we sold them, partly a fundraiser for Harvest Ministry, but partly as a reminder that it's a job of every Christian believer to take the Great Commission seriously, to go into all the world, and as you're going, to make disciples in the name of Jesus. Thanks for being a part of the ministry with us.
Apparently got a bunch of free little meal tickets for Arby's, and Tim was like, hey, why don't we just start eating at Arby's for free? So we tried 2 Arby's near Troy, and they wouldn't take them. Then along our way, we finally found an Arby's that would take them. But it was just quite entertaining, especially when you notice that people do find it not weird, but it's kind of, like I said, it's entertaining for you to ring the bell because, well, it shows that you love the food. And then apparently some people love it when you sing on the way out saying it's good mood food. So
Why don't you just sing it for us real quick?
Okay. It's good mood food.
That's about as embarrassing as it was first time. It's always funny on harvest trips to see what happens and see who does what, and there's so many little tiny memories that you can hardly even figure out. The first memory to tag on to Justin was that we went to, or Justin James. That's the first memory. The first memory was that we went to Arby's with these cars and it wouldn't let us eat there because it wasn't an actual official Arby's, it was a fake Arby's. And so we didn't know what to do. We were all 7 standing there, and so we left and we went to Culver's. And the awkward feeling of not eating at the first Arby's, even though we ate at like 14 other Arby's over the summer, and they all took the cards, the first one didn't. And so after going to Culver's, on the way home, just before we turned onto Riggin Road in the country of Troy, Illinois, somehow this word came out, a combination of Arby's and Culver's. And Arvers was born, and it was the new definition for anything that was awkward, was Arvers. So that was said a lot during the first part of the summer, and on our trip to the zoo over in St. Louis, we tried to get a picture with an elephant. And every time we would get ourselves positioned to get the picture of the elephant, he would turn around. And so we got the backside of an elephant, which Haley affectionately named Arvers the elephant. And so maybe you should put my take on
I
it.
did.
And speaking of animals, one other little tidbit, aside from all the amazing things that happened, which we'll share as well. But one night I was sitting driving the van like I always do, and I was just gonna get some animal crackers. So I asked Haley if she would hand me an animal cracker, and she did. And then, as I was driving, she put another one right there on my little backpack that sits right by my driver's seat. I looked down, there's another animal cracker, so I ate it. And then I looked down a minute later, and there was 2 more animal crackers. And I just sat there with this endless, eternal supply of animal crackers being placed neatly on my backpack. And she was just seeing how long I would eat them, and I was just happy. And so that was hilarious. The whole first half of the summer was also characterized by animal crackers.
There was a nice little place called Carmi, Illinois, and we just happened to show up there based on its location in between Vincennes and where we were going next, which is Beulah. And, well, Tim had a buddy, and we went down there, and they had a nice little ice cream social. And I must say, caramel pecan ice cream is quite delicious.
In fact, we might change the name to Carmi Pecan Ice Cream. It was amazing.
Yes, and I talked to the person who made it. Apparently, she just found it online, so I might even check that out. But it was gone in a jiffy. And all the other ice creams were out there. There are 20 different types of vanilla. Might be a slight exaggeration, but that was some really, really solid ice cream. And a great time just to fellowship and play a little music. Just have fun with other fellow believers.
It was amazing. And the hospitality of that place was also
Absolutely incredible.
especially the afternoon on golf carts. Thank you, Terrence.
So Olney, Illinois is home of the white squirrels, which are a unique little oddity of Olney, Illinois. And so we were like, oh, let's go to the park, let's see if we can find a white squirrel. Well, I really wanted to see one, so I may or may not have prayed to see a white squirrel. And so we went to this park and we're driving around and we all have our cameras out and we saw a white squirrel sitting on the little tree. His name is Arnie, and we have lots of pictures of him. So that was awesome.
Wait, since when was his name Arnie?
Yeah.
They named it Arnie.
Yeah, we
like-
named it Arnie.
Oh.
It was like a week after,
Yeah.
because we have that little postcard in the van.
Ah, yes.
That's
Postcard.
Yeah.
But that's a different white squirrel, though.
To just clarify, a harvest group has only seen a white squirrel like 3 times total in the last 17 years. It's not very common to drive into Aldi, Illinois, pull in the park and see a white squirrel. And not only that, we got out and took pictures of it. And I didn't even take pictures of the white squirrel. I took pictures of all 5 of these guys standing next to me trying to get a picture of the white squirrel. It was hilarious.
I will boast in the one who's worthy. I will boast in the Lord my God.
I've all summer tried to figure out different times and places to run, and it's typically ended up being 5:36 a.m. But back in the very beginning, about prep week, it was Saturday night, and we were gonna be leaving in the next couple of days, and I wasn't really sure how much I'd be able to move outside of going from the dining hall to the place we were playing music over the course of the next week. Because I had no idea where we would end up, except for Tim saying we're going to Iowa. And so I decided it's probably 11:30 at night. I jogged a mile and a half back to Tim's parents' house where we were staying. And James over here,
I decided to join him because something told me, hey, why not go for a run, join Doug, you might find something interesting. So,
and like now, he was wearing jeans, I was wearing khakis.
yeah.
So, we throw our junk back in Tyler's van and we start going. And we're almost at the subdivision, just about to turn in there. And we look over and there's a cop. He pulls up behind us and then he flashes his lights.
He comes out of his car with his watch on, asks, "Are you guys exercising?" We go, "Yes, sir." And he starts interrogating us and asking questions and saying, what are you guys doing so late out at night running?" It's like, well, we just got out of practice and we just wanted to go for a run back to where we were staying. And we're explaining everything to him, and at points I didn't think he was believing us.
I wouldn't have believed us either.
Yeah, and so he asked for our IDs, and we gave him our IDs, and he goes, "You two aren't even from around here." And we go, "Well, yeah, we're with a ministry group, so." And pretty much the whole entire time, it was quite a little awkward. I believe.
It was slightly awkward, and he would have done well at ours.
Yes.
But the one comment he made, and it's a slight paraphrase, but okay, let me get this straight. Neither of you are from around here. It's 11:45 at night, and you're running in khakis and jeans, and you expect me to believe that you're not up to any trouble. Oh, and by the way, there was a break-in last night. And the break-in actually happened at the house right next to where we were staying.
And
So,
it was really weird, random, and I even said after that sentence, "This isn't my best attire or possibly Doug's." So,
but
So after we got him out of jail the next morning.
long story short, we got our, he had to check our names in the database. We came out clean, everything was fine. And so he asked if we wanted to ride home. And knowing it would make a fantastic story and allow us to tell you right now, we hopped in the backseat of the cop's car and got it right back.
it was quite fun. I was hoping he would do the siren though.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, your perfect love is casting out fear.
While we were at Vincent's, I was asked to do a devotion, and the devotion I ended up doing was about a song called Pie Jesu, and that song means, "Merciful Jesus, you who have saved the world, give us rest." And it was just really neat to kind of read about it and then just think about the words to that song and just figure out that we just need to find that place of inner peace and that place of rest and know that God's got everything under control, and that no matter what troubles we are having, God will be able to help us through, because He will not give us anything more than what we can bear. And it was quite powerful getting the chance to do this devotion. Amen.
One of the things that was really awesome about the summer is that the whole summer everything was pretty smooth. There was no vehicle trouble, no safety issues, none of that. So earlier this week we are heading to Champaign, to New Horizon actually, to do a little lunchtime worship, which we were pretty excited about to do. And we get about 11 miles from the church, and the check engine light comes on in the van, and we hear Tim go, "Check engine, oh no." And all of a sudden he's pulling over to the side of the road, and we're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? The air conditioning had gone warm, and so we were a little bit worried. So we pull over and pop the hood on the van. We look, and if we looked underneath the van, you can see the belt hanging underneath, which is never a good sign. So we called AAA, got a tow, but the issue was that we had the trailer, and AAA would tow the van, but not the trailer. So we had to figure out had to figure out something. So I called my parents, and my mom was able to bring our Suburban and actually come and get the trailer and us and take us to the church. So we were able to get there 20 minutes after when we were supposed to get there, so we weren't even that late. And it was just really an awesome thing for her to give up her time and to come rescue us and really show us the love of God even in serving us and making that sacrifice. So it was just a really cool way that the Lord provided for us, and just a testament to God's faithfulness of taking care of us and getting us back on the road and then getting the van fixed. And we were on our way to Springfield within 3.5 hours from having broke down on the side of the road. So definitely something that God was very faithful to us.
There was a little place that we went to, and Vincent's. It was a great church, and there's just the youth group there was really good. They were on fire for God, and we got to actually play music for them and go out into their community and help out their community. Like, we got to help out clean out a home, and we got to clear some brush and some tree limbs and even cut down a few trees. It was really quite just amazing how this youth group came together and just started building and just started creating and just started helping the community. We even went to a housing complex and served food that we got to cook ourselves. And we also, the whole youth group got to make the menu, so it was quite interesting to see this youth group come together and help out. It was also very fun because we got to even play some games with them. We got to play so many, it was insane, I can't even remember all of them. And the people there were just so amazing and so loving and just open arms. So many of the youth were just like, come here, give me a hug. They're just so goofy, but you can tell that they were on fire for God. They just loved being around people.
We were privileged to get to lead a seminar at Beulah Junior High Live, and it was definitely a fun experience. The seminar that we chose, well, we got to create our own seminar like topic, and so we chose to do worship, but not necessarily just like the music aspect, because worship is more than just music. It's in basically everything that you do. And so that's what we really wanted to hit home with the kids, was that no matter what you do, it should be for the glory of God, and worship is an everyday little thing. And so we had different little stations set up, like mine was chores, Doug had keeping integrity, and Tim had conversations, and it was just neat to see the kids go from station to station learning about different ways and fun maybe ways to worship our God. And then at the end we moved into a time period of talking about how worship is definitely fun to do by yourself, but it's also great to worship with the Christian body. And so we had a little response table, I guess you'd say, where the kids could come up and offer one thing or two things or however many they want to write down, offer it up to God, because worship is about giving God everything and not holding back. And so at the end of them, they made little rings with the paper that they wrote down, and then at the end, the whole camp was connected through this long ring of giving something up to God. And it was just a really awesome experience to see that happen and be able to worship God.
We started this summer going to Iowa after prep week, and the first thing we were planning on doing kind of fell through, so Tim threw a bunch of stuff together and really created a unique, interesting, amazing trip. And each place we went was completely different. We started off at a place with some mentally handicapped people, and led worship there and fellowship there, and we are friends of Jim, just so you know. But no kidding, but in all seriousness, it was a great experience, and moving on from that, we went into Des Moines and led worship at a little church that was just feeding anyone that would happen to come in that evening. And we just played music in the background and played some old songs that were requested by the youth group. Lord, I Lift Your Name on High, Awesome God, stuff that we all know, but we haven't really played in a while. And luckily we were able to remember them and just enjoy playing that and being with them as well. And from there we were able to just spend the night at Tim's great aunt's house, and she prepared a lavish and wonderful breakfast with homemade maple syrup and a sausage bread roll that was incredible. And ultimately, that moment, I think, is when we started to realize just how God was going to show us His love this summer, and that was through the hospitality of every place we were at. The next evening, we stayed at a place in Geneseo, Illinois, and Alan Cindy hosted us and just, again, loved us. And moving on from that, we've had many other places this summer where we have simply been shown the hospitality that God's followers have for each other. We're coming back from Iowa, and Tim gets the question asked if this little church can have the chords to some of his songs for VBS. They somehow, at one point in time, got a hold of some of the Harvest music and wanted to play it. And, well, we were driving pretty close by there, so Tim texted and said, we can just bring them to you, or we can just play them for you. So we had a free day, and we went over there, and they took care of us. They fed us well. They gave us a nice place to rest. And we played music, and we were able to enjoy that experience. And it's always been unique how not only have we been loved, but how God's taken care of us as well. There have been times we really don't know what we're doing. That night, up until about an hour before we went over there, we didn't know for sure if we were going over there or not. And the way God works can be a very last minute, but there's really no need to worry. And that's why I pull out my ukulele and hum a Hawaiian hymn.
So this has been a crazy summer for lots of reasons, but it's been one of, at the beginning it was definitely a hard summer for me, just with different things going on, but it's been probably one of my biggest periods of growth so far in my life. And so it's been really fun to do music all the time and to meet new people and to really grow close to everyone on the team this year.
Overall, this summer has been yet again a great summer, being the second year for me. And every year it seems like new stuff arises that Christ can teach you. And so it's awesome to see the transformation in everyone, including myself. And I'd like to thank God for all like the fun-filled times and the laughs that we've had over the summer. And whether it be from like riding golf carts in the woods or chasing after white squirrels, it's just been a very blessed summer. And so I'd like to thank you all, prayer partners and whoever else has been praying for us and like keeping us on your hearts. So it's been great. Thanks.
This summer has been absolutely amazing. I would not trade this experience for anything in the world. I have made some of the best friends I've ever had, and I honestly feel honored knowing that I got to share this experience with such good people, and I want to thank God for letting me do this summer. And there are no words to describe how blessed I feel getting to do this all summer long.
We raise a wild cry, the Lord is
I can do it again next year. So that's all I got.
Here on this holy ground, you made a way. As we're winding down here, I just want to make sure that we say thanks to people who've been praying for us this summer, and I've enjoyed sending out emails and keeping people up to date. But probably more than anything else that happens, if it wasn't for prayer, the summer wouldn't be nearly as fruitful. And some of the eternal perspective stuff that happens when you're around that many kids, thinking about ones that are going to go on in ministry and serving the Lord and the church, other ones who are just lives are going to be changed from these moments of being someplace that's kind of away from the norm. I just really believe in that, and thank you for being a part of it with us. And people that supported us other ways, financially, or host families, or food, and families who made trips back and forth, we just really give you thanks and give God glory for everything working out this summer. It's a pretty big undertaking, and it's been awesome. And to continue on with that, there were a couple places that we saw kids who came up and said, I was at Fire Up this year or that year, or I was at camp this year or that year, and that's where I got saved, or that's where I found the Lord. And it's just amazing to hear those testimonies after year after year. And even the group that we have here with us this summer, I've mentioned several times this summer that it's hilarious to me that I bought my guitar before any of these Harvest people were born this year, and that's a milestone, and it means I need to get a new guitar. But everybody in the circle that's on the Harvest team this summer, Harvest met, or I met, when they were a camper at a camp. And so that's pretty amazing that the time kind of keeps marching on. And the ministry that we do to the however many hundreds of kids we saw this summer is not in vain. There's an eternal kind of perspective to it that is amazing to me. When the word goes out, it never comes back empty. And so I just thank you for being a part of our mission and ministry with us this summer. Kind of
Why do you got a nanner?
I'm hungry.